diggity, diggity dog. Breaking, diggity, diggity dog. Diggity, diggity dog. Breaking, diggity, diggity dog.
Hello, everybody. It is the Flex Network, and this is, well, normally you see me here on Thursday. You'll see me here on Tuesday for the list. Thursdays for the weekend review. But this is this is a special show because this is kind of a makeup show from yesterday. Was not able to do so with work and everything. So this is just a makeup for you guys. So, but let's just get this right. We are live. Yes, this is the Flex Network wrestling show, the weekend review, but it's not going to be a weekend review because this is going to be a Survivor Series preview show. Yes, it's Survivor Series weekend. Tomorrow night, it will be the beginning of the best weekend, one of the best weekends of the Big Four pay-per-views of the Thanksgiving tradition of in the month of November, Survivor Series weekend with NXT TakeOver tomorrow night, kicking it off, and then Survivor Series on Sunday. And this year, good God, talk about up in the ante and everything with what's going to happen at Survivor Series this year alone. But before we get too far into Survivor Series, let's get talking about TakeOver and War Games in general, because we know that tomorrow night. Sorry, I gotta switch that over here. Get more of my smiling face in here. So yes, tomorrow night is TakeOver War Games, and for the small card that it's packed with right now, this War Games has been a staple the last 2 years with the return of the WCW uh, staple in the month of November for War Games, the match beyond um, double cage, double ring matchup. And boy, this pay-per-view for TakeOver fits perfectly with this brand. It just makes it take it that much higher up, because now you got uh this dangerous cage, two rings, it's surrounded by one giant cage. While back in the WCW days, it had a roof on top, not like what it does now at TakeOver with NXT. They take the roof off and they are to do some more stuff up top. But with the addition of, bringing NXT, having the steel cage over here on NXT, this is awesome. It just makes the November pay-per-view worth watching. And let's just quickly run down the card before we continue to talk about War Games in general. Uh, as you see here, we're gonna have, as it was announced on the last episode of NXT show, that there will be a triple threat match for the number one contenders match or ship for the NXT title at Survivor Series, which it will be Pete Dunne taking on Killian Dane and taking on Damian Priest. The winner will receive a championship opportunity for the NXT title on Sunday against Adam Cole. Also, we will see Matt Riddle taking on Finn Balor one-on-one. It was supposed to be Johnny Gargano taking on Finn Balor, but because of injury, he is unable to go at WarGames, so that is unfortunate. And then we're talking about the two WarGames style matches, though. Before we get to the participants, the rules for the WarGames is simple. There will be teams of 4. One member from each team will start inside the cage at a specific time interval. There will be a countdown and determined by winner of I want to say a coin flip the last couple of years, but a predetermined coin flip at the buzzer. There will be one member will be let out of will be let into the cage and making it a handicap match. Another time interval turn into a tag team match. Another time interval, 3-on-2 handicap. Another time interval, 3-on-3. Another one, 4-on-3, and then after the final time period, there will be 4-on-4, and we will have a WarGames. Granted, this year, instead of the coin flip, if you watched NXT the last 2 weeks, you saw that we had ladder matches to determine who would get the advantage. And if you watched last night's men's ladder match, granted it was chaos throughout after the match, but you know that in the men's WarGames, Undisputed Era won the advantage, so they will have the advantage going into WarGames. So they will have the odds favored at every interval. So depending on who will start the match, either Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Fish, or O'Reilly, they're going to get an advantage every, if it's 2 minutes, every two, so every odd minute. So, every odd set of time. So the first, the third, the fifth buzzer. So it will continue until they get all the members into the cage. Once we have everyone inside the cage, then the match truly starts. As you notice, if you've gone through past WarGames, you may, or if this is your first time seeing WarGames, the match does not end or even start technically until every single person gets inside the cage. If you try to pin, if you try to submit before everyone gets in, it will not count. There will be no ref to make a count, to signal for the bell. This match continues to go until every single person is inside the cage. And gentlemen, that's when the fun gets going. So, after everyone's in the cage, pinfall or submission is how you win. And that is essentially how it is going to work for the WarGames. And so we have the men's version, the men's side. It would be Undisputed Era, the NXT champion, the NXT North American champion, the NXT Tag Team champions, all on one side taking on Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, and Dominic Dankovic, or Dankovic, or I cannot get his name right. but an unknown fourth. We do not know who the fourth man is. Tommaso Ciampa's been playing, yeah, he's been playing this close to the vest, and it was supposed to be Matt Riddle, but due to Finn Balor taking out Johnny Gargano, he will not be facing Johnny Gargano at the pay per view. So Matt Riddle will take Johnny Gargano's place to take on Finn Balor. So he is out of NXT Takeover uh, War Games match for the men. On the women's side of the War Games, the first time ever that the women will step inside War Games. It will be Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Tegan Knox, and Mia Yim taking on the current reigning NXT Women's Champion, Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and the United Kingdom's Women's Champion, Kate Kaylee Ray. She will be in the match. That is the War Games. And for those of you who have not heard, for the theme song, it's Ricky by Denzel Cruz. Awesome track. I would have played for you, but I don't know what is going on my side with the audio. So that is War Games. Now we can talk about the Saturday or Sunday's event, and this is going to be the big payoff for this past month. Ever since after Crown Jewel, when it was announced that it was going to be Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT. NXT is now joining the main brand in the November pay-per-view committee. So they now get to share the spotlight with Raw, with SmackDown, and the past month has been banging for just watching content on Raw, on SmackDown, on NXT. And we've been getting matches we want to see, like Becky Lynch, Shayna Baszler, and Bayley, all three women's champions going at it in a triple threat interpromotional match. No titles on the line, of course. That is the big key. Um, the tag team champs in a triple threat match. Raiders, Undisputed Era, and the New Day tag team match for brand supremacy. The second champions, the U.S. NXT North American and the Intercontinental Champion, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Roderick Strong going up. Those are matches we want to see. And can it be Sunday already just to give us these matches we really really want to see? And all these are going to be triple threat. I'll get to the rest of the card in a little bit, but let's actually talk about the non uh brand versus brand matches. We're gonna get Brock Lesnar defending the WWE Championship against Rey Mysterio in a no holds barred match on the Raw side for the heavyweight title. So, and all three heavyweight titles are going to be defended: Raw, SmackDown, and NXT at Survivor Series. But this is the one that was, I think, is not going to be as big of a to care, because Brock Lesnar has been on this tear, of just destroying Rey Mysterio for a little while now, getting his revenge at Crown Jewel against Cain Velasquez, and just destroying Rey Mysterio's own son Dominic in the process. And now he's getting his comeuppance with Rey, getting steel chair shots, a lead pipe to the knee, a Raw a couple weeks ago. And Brock was on SmackDown. He left SmackDown, took the WWE title with him, and now he's on Raw. With this whole new contract clause that uh, has been happening ever since the draft, with Lesnar having an ironclad contract, is now being absorbed by Raw as he is now on Raw. And the Universal title was on Raw. Now it's on SmackDown thanks to the Fiend's victory at Crown Jewel. So this has just been a crazy mashup as with since Crown Jewel with title switching brands, and we figured it was going to happen with this with Brock versus Ray, and it's now official at Survivor Series in a no holds barred. That's going to be a match that a lot of people are going to think Lesnar's going to win. Now, even more so because no DQ or sorry, no holds barred. He's just going to tear Ray apart. But maybe Ray can pull off another ultimate underdog tactic and get the WWE title off of Lesnar before we head into December and into the Royal Rumble in January before we start the road to WrestleMania. The other two heavyweight title matches that we're going to get, Daniel Bryan is going to challenge the Fiend Bray Wyatt one-on-one for the now blue Universal Championship. The belt is blue. The belt is blue. The goddamn belt is blue. Man, it's just going to be so interesting to see these two crazy cats go at it. It's going to be fun. Daniel Bryan, I hope he picks out the victory, but knowing that Bray just won the Universal title, and I don't think Daniel Bryan is going to be in the title, should have been in the title picture at least right now, but this is going to be a good match. But I think Bray Wyatt is going to pull out the victory and keep the title that he just won not even a month ago, and continue this maybe into December, maybe even through January's Royal Rumble. So it will be interesting to watch. And then, of course, the NXT Championship is on the line. Adam Cole will defend the night after his TakeOver WarGames match with his undisputed brothers. He will be defending the title one-on-one against the winner of a triple threat match at TakeOver WarGames. So pay attention. Hope you guys check out TakeOver tomorrow night to see who will be challenging on Survivor Series night. And then the rest of the interpromotional matchups, we're going to get, uh, of course, the 5-on-5 traditional Survivor. It's normally 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match, but with it being a three uh three teams of five interpromotional triple threat elimination match, it's Survivor Series style. We're going to get, for the women's side, we will get Charlotte, Natalia, Asuka, Kari Sane, and Sarah Logan for team representing the red brand. Representing the blue brand will be Sasha Banks, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, and Nikki Cross. Representing Team SmackDown, and we just found out who will be representing Team NXT. Uh, if actually, if you have it, I know for some of us here on the Pacific Northwest side, SmackDown hasn't aired yet, so just make sure you, as soon as I'm done on this show, go and check out SmackDown live on Fox. It's going to be a killer show to get us the go away show for Survivor Series for SmackDown tonight. But we do now know that for Team NXT for the women's side, it will be Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Tegan Nox, Mia Yim, and the former NXT United Kingdom Women's Champion, Toni Storm. So 4 of the 5 members are going to be, more in action from the night before, from their War Games match, to represent the black and gold brand the next night on Survivor Series for the team. So it will be 5-on-5 in a triple threat team elimination match. So I'm not we haven't heard the specific rules for how this is going to work, but more than likely all three brands will be in the ring at the same time. At least there will be a member from each side in the ring at all times. I'm gonna take a guess that you could tag your any one of your partners in, and they will you get eliminated, you're gone. It gets whittled down all the way down to the last team standing, and that will be the brand winner. For the men's side, yes, there is a men's side of the Survivor Series 5-on-5 triple threat team elimination match. It will be Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, and Ricochet for the red brand Team Raw, taking on Team SmackDown's Roman Reigns, King Corbin, Ali, Shorty G, and the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, representing Team Blue. And we do not know yet who the black and gold brand is going to send up to represent them at Survivor Series in this triple threat Survivor Series team elimination matchup. So we may or may not know till later tonight, at least for us here on the West Coast, of who will be representing the black and gold brand in for the team at Survivor Series. I know that on SmackDown tonight, there will be a 6-man tag with the representatives of the SmackDown team, with Roman Reigns taking and Ali and Shorty G taking on King Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, and Robert Roode in a 6-man tag before SmackDown goes off the air. And I also guess found out that that the team captains will be going for the women's side of the Survivor Series elimination matchup. The captains will be in a triple threat match. Charlotte, Banks, and Rhea Ripley will be going heads up triple threat style, representing their brands before we get to Survivor Series. But other than that, there I guess obviously there if you are on Twitter, you've been following the show. For those who are on the East Coast, you know what's been going on, maybe some new stuff. A new title has been uh introduced, but for us here on the West Coast, we have not yet gotten to the show, which will be in about an hour and an hour, about a little over an hour for us. So trying to get this cut down short so I can get you guys can get out there and watch the show and get ready for the go home SmackDown. So that is pretty much it. Besides, oh yeah, one other note, for the NWA Power, James E. Cornette has resigned from NWA, his announced position, due to his comments from a previous show, so he will no longer be on the show. Uh, Actually, you know what? Before we get going, I'm actually going to make some picks for both shows, for both events, the Takeover and Survivor Series. Let me get the list up for you guys of what's going to happen. For tomorrow night, let's start with the triple threat match. I'm going to make a bold prediction, and I'm going to pick Pete Dunne as the number one contender for Survivor Series' NXT title match. Okay, so Pete Dunne, Finn's gonna take on Matt Riddle. I'm gonna pick Finn. It's always Finn. uh, and then the men's war game match. Undisputed Era has been in the last two, and they are 1-1. They're 1 for 2, so they're pretty much even. But I think this year, unless depending on who becomes the fourth member for Team Champa, I think I'm gonna pick Undisputed Era, and it's gonna be an exciting match. It's gonna be a hell of a match. Last two didn't surprise us. Or they did, and it was awesome. I love the War Games. Uh, women's team. I'm gonna pick Team Baszler, as she's just been running rampant and roughshod. She's been so dominant, and having an additional women's champ from UK on your side, that's gonna get you some wins right there. That's gonna get you a win right there. No, no disrespect to Ripley or Tegan or Mia or Candice. Shayna's just been on a tear. That's why she's held on to the women's title. She's the only two-time champ. She's held on to it for the longest. So she knows what she's doing. Sunday. Oh, by the way, Sunday, the theme for Survivor Series is Teeth by 5 Seconds of Summer. Highly recommend you guys go and get these two Saw themes. Ricky by Denzel Cruz for War Games, and Survivor Series' theme is Teeth by 5 Seconds of Summer. Love both of them. Have them on my playlist. Go out and get them. Now let's pick some winners for Survivor Series itself. Starting with the non-brand matches, the world title matches. Brock versus Ray. Again, I'm gonna pick Brock to beat Ray in the no holds barred match. Fiend's gonna beat Daniel Bryan for the Universal title, and then depending on who wins on Saturday, uh, I think Adam Cole is gonna the keep the NXT title. Just depends on who wins, who comes out of War Games, that triple threat match. I'm still gonna pick Adam Cole no matter who, but I'm thinking it's gonna be Pete Dunne that comes out the winner for the triple threat, and it's gonna face Adam Cole on Sunday. Let's see who else. Let's even go down the list for who I'm picking in my brand matches. Women's champions match. Becky versus Bailey versus Shayna. This is gonna be the toughest match to pick, because you just between Becky and Shayna and Bailey, who's being not even looked at, maybe kept an eye on, but not really considered a threat. With the new attitude, but you got Becky versus Baszler and Bailey. I think this is going to be Becky's match. I'm going to pick Becky to beat Bailey. So Raw's going to go up 1-0. Just writing this down so I can remember. Okay. Tag team titles. Or tag team champions matchup. I think I'm going to pick between Raiders, New Day, and Undisputed Era. Fish and O'Reilly. I want to say I want to pick Undisputed Era. So Undisputed Era is going to get it done. Fish and O'Reilly have been a tag team for the longest time. They know what they're doing. I believe these guys will have the experience. So I'm picking NXT to win the tag title match, or triple threat match. Uh, AJ Styles, Shinsuke, and Roderick in the uh se- in the second brand champs match. I th- this one's gonna be a little bit less tough. Granted, AJ Styles and Shinsuke, that was awesome match at WrestleMania for the WWE title, but they're in a different frame right now. Roderick Strong, depending on how he comes out of NXT WarGames, may get beat, but I think I'm going to pick uh Shinsuke to sneak the victory out. So that would put, but at least by my calculations, each brand has a victory before we get to the Survivor Series elimination matches. So Raw for the women's side, Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. I think, depending on how how the women from NXT do in War Games, might play a factor. So I am going to have to pick SmackDown to win the women's elimination match. So that's going to leave SmackDown to tie or to get the win with the men. And with Rollins, Orton, KO, Drew McIntyre, and Ricochet for Raw, Reigns, Corbin, Ali, Shorty G, and Braun for SmackDown, and then whoever Team NXT is going to be, we do not know. Um, Unfortunately, I may have to pick NXT to win the men's Survivor Series because SmackDown's not going to get the job done. Corbin is just going to find a way to screw Ollie and Shorty G. Roman's going to try to fight all these guys along with Braun. They're going to get knocked down because Braun's going to be this bigger of the two or bigger of the whole group. Seth, Randy, KO, Drew, Ricochet. Orton's going to find a way to RKO Drew or Ricochet. KO is just going to he's going to get some victories. Now, granted, Randy Orton being on the team, he is a three-time sole survivor in past Survivor Series matchups. So that's got to be a plus for him and for Team Raw, but I'm going to pick Team NXT depending on who is the representatives. But more than likely, I think it might be the men's team from Survivors or from War Games, not Undisputed Era, as they are going to be busy. So it'll more than likely be uh, Champa, Keith Lee, and Dominic De, Dejakovic. I cannot say his name right. And then whoever their fourth person is, and whoever their fifth person is going to be, because that is a 5 team. But maybe NXT gets the victory. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change mine. I'm going to change my pick. I'm going to change it to Raw. Raw is going to win the men's Survivor Series team. So Raw and SmackDown are going to tie, and NXT is going to get they're going to get the tag team champions match. Raw's going to get the women's champ and the men's Survivor Series, while SmackDown gets uh the second tier champs match one for them and the women's Survivor Series. So a a two-way tie between Raw and SmackDown. That's not bad two out of 5 matches. So, but we will see what happens on Survivor Series Sunday. That is it. I just wanted to come on here quickly, get you guys hyped up for Survivor Series in general, as is one of the big 4 pay-per-views. We're at the number 3 spot because Royal Rumble is on the way in 2 months or in less than 2 months. We will be in January. Let me get the exact bring up how far we are out from Royal Rumble exactly, because we still have TLC coming up. Um, Other note, you NXT NXT's next pay per view, exclusive for UK, will be NXT UK Takeover Blackpool Tool 2, and that is sold out. As soon as tickets went on sale, uh, boom, they were gone. 20 minutes. All the tickets for Blackpool at the Empress Ballroom, it's gone. And uh, I'm pretty sure matches will be announced later on NXT UK programming. But what we're hearing is for the matches so far, we're going to see Walter defend the UK Championship against Joe Coffey. We're going to have a 4-way tag team ladder match for the tag team titles with Gallows, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang taking on Imperium's members, Alex Wolf, uh, and God, I cannot say their names. So, 2 members of Imperium taking on grizzled young veterans Zach Gibson and James Drake, and taking on Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. That is going to be exciting. Triple threat match for the UK Women's Championship. Kaylee Ray taking on Tony Storm and Piper Niven. Uh, Triple threat rules. One-on-one match. Trent Seven taking on Eddie Dennis, and Tyler Bate taking on Jordan Devlin, the Irish Ace. Um, that is going to be happening in January on the 12th that we know of. I'm sure matches will be announced, either changed before then, as we're a couple months away. TLC will be December 15th. We don't Matches will be announced for that. And then Worlds Collide will be before Royal Rumble in will be the I want to say the day before Royal Rumble, and that is going to be January. Royal Rumble will be January 26th. They will be in Houston, Texas, at Minute Maid Ballpark. For the second year in a row, they'll be at a baseball stadium. Last year they were at Arizona. That was awesome. But so just hope you guys are paying attention to our posts, and liking, subscribing, following, and sharing this, as January 26th, we will have our Royal Rumble giveaway. We will we'll just keep reminding you guys every week about it leading up to Royal Rumble, and more information will be given about how you can enter and when we'll be drawing or picking the 30 participants for the Royal Rumble matchup. exactly of who wins, who's going to be entered into the drawing, the 30 people, and on Royal Rumble, we will be doing the random drawing for representatives. But again, that's in January. That's January 26th. We are still 2 months out. And I think that's it. Let me go through all the normal housewarming gifts for closing out the show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, retweet on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Share our videos, our podcasts. You could follow if you for the fantasy football content. You could follow at Flex Network One. That's where you'll get your fantasy football fix. Unfortunately, today there's no show for the Flex Finder. They will be on. I'm pretty sure they'll be on Sunday to get you guys ready for your fantasy football start and sit show on Sunday morning. So get up with these guys early to make your get you guys ready for the stretch run on your way to championship week in a couple weeks, so you can qualify for your playoffs. Uh, then Tuesday we will be back. I will be back with my list show. We're at number 2. Uh, we will actually have a show this week. I promise you, we will have a list show. Number 2. If you want to follow us here on the Flex Network's wrestling side, we are at FlexNet_PW Elite. Elite. You can follow us. We will post when we're going to go live with this show. And then next Thursday, we'll be back with the regularly scheduled weekend review. We will talk what happened at Survivor Series and at WarGames and on Raw and SmackDown, which is going to be happening in a little bit here on the West Coast. We'll talk about that. If you want to follow me personally, the Snowman. I am at AJS Dead Snow. That is my Twitter handle. That is my personal. So I generally post a lot of wrestling stuff there because I love wrestling. But otherwise, that is it, I believe, for the for this quick show. Again, it was just unannounced, spur of the moment to get you guys ready for Survivor Series weekend starting tomorrow with TakeOver War Games. So, uh, that is it for the Flex Network. I am the Snowman, wishing you a good and enjoyable Survivor Series weekend. And with actually, you know what? With next week being Thanksgiving, we may or may not have a show. We will try to keep you posted of that. But if we do have a show, we'll post about it. If we don't have a show, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone upcoming. So happy early Thanksgiving for everyone. Uh enjoy that bird next week. We will see you guys later.